Hello there, friends. This is Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, and productivity. Just consider it a vitamin and a supplement for your mind, your heart, and your soul. Today, we're going to discuss how will you measure your life. Thanks for tuning in. If you wouldn't mind going to iTunes and downloading these podcasts, or better yet, subscribe to them. And after you've listened to them, if you would leave a review at iTunes, I would greatly appreciate it. The first thing that I want us to do is, how do you know if you're making a difference? When all is said and done in your life, what is it that will happen that for you, your life was a success or you feel fulfilled? Now, let me become preachy for a moment. I've spent my entire adult life preaching. One important way, if not the most important way, is I want God to be pleased with my life, and I want to measure it in a way that would be pleasing to Him. Regardless of what you do for a living or what you're trying to do, your faith in God has to be number one. Don't forget about your family. That God ordained the family long before He ordained the church or any other institution. We have to put our families at the top. And our friends. Many times, especially it seems men, we have a tendency to ask each other, what do you do? And we define everything by what we do. But in reality, our lives are not just defined by what we do or where we've come from or where we live, but our lives are defined by who are we? Who are we deep down at the basic core of where we live? And so, give yourself to God, your family, your friends. So let me just give some other things that I think that are important as you come down to the end or whenever in your life and you begin to measure, did my life matter? Did it really count? The first thing is, whatever it is you choose to do vocationally, you have to love what you do. I am one of the probably few people that I have loved what I have done. I've loved every place where I've served. I haven't loved every moment of it, and not every situation and circumstance was lovely. But I've been blessed, and I've had the privilege of feeling I was called to what I did, and I love what you do. And yet I have talked to many, many people who hate what they do and are looking forward to retiring or looking forward till they can get a better job. Find something you love to do and do it with all your might. I believe also that whatever it is you do, there are no small jobs or inconsequential positions. Believe that what you do really matters. I come from a long line of people who worked the lines in the factories. And I'm wondering, on reflecting back, if many times they felt like they were just little cogs in a big machine. But the fact of the matter is, my country, the country I live in, wouldn't be in operation today if it wasn't for the women and men who went to work every day and did what it is they were doing and did it with excellence. My friend, right now, make sure you love what you're doing. If not, try to get yourself in a position where you can love what you're doing, whether that means changing. Many times what needs to change is your own heart and your own attitude. Believe that whatever it is you are presently doing is great work and do it with all of your might. The next thing that I would say is make getting things done your operation. Many people talk about what they're going to do. Oh, someday I'm going to do this. Oh, out there tomorrow I'm going to accomplish this. I have never found someday on the calendar. There's today. That's what you have. Make sure you're going to get things done. I think many people believe that they or their company or their business is judged by what they say. This is what we're about. This is what we're going to do. At the end of the day, you're not really judged by what you say. You're judged by what you do, what you accomplish, the action that you take. Whatever it is that you're doing, give yourself to it 100%. Matter of fact, I was reading a person the other day who said it's actually easier to do something 100%, to give it 100%, than it is to just do it 98%. I have started since last fall trying to exercise, take better care of myself. I've lost quite a bit of weight. I've gotten myself in perhaps the best shape physically I've been in my adult life, and it's a little embarrassing to be in your early 60s and to say I'm in the best physical shape that I've been in. One of the things that I committed to in the year 2019 was that 240 times this year, I would do 1 hour of cardio. And I'm on pace to keep that record. But let me tell you what happens several times when I go to the gym and I'm there and I'm on the treadmill or the elliptical or the recumbent bike, or I'm doing the strength and resistance routine that I go through. I keep thinking, I don't know that I can do this for an hour. And so I trick myself actually by saying, Ron, just try it for 5 minutes. Put your shoes on, put your shorts on, go. Let's try it for 5 minutes. Well, then I'm there for 5, and I said, well, if I've done 5, why don't I do 10 minutes? And then 10 minutes becomes 20. And then I think, well, if I just do it 30 minutes, that's good enough, and I'll stop. And then I say to myself at about minute 29, you know, you're already sweaty. You're already going to have to take a shower. You've committed to doing 240 1-hour sessions this year. If you only do 30 minutes, that's not an hour. And before you know it, I have talked myself in to doing it the 100% way, to take the full hour. And I can say amen to the person who wrote, it's easier to do something 100% than it is 98%, because here's what we do. All of my adult life, I've been either on or going off a diet. And I have lost probably in my adult life 500 pounds, but gained 600 back. Because there'd be times when I'd cheat or I didn't feel like it, and I'd say, oh, you know, you deserve it. Just one little break here. If you have that, if you do that, what difference does it make? And, you know, it's just easier to do something 100%. Make your mind up that whatever it is you're going to do in life, you're actually going to do something. Please don't be like Congress and the politicians who today know that Social Security and Medicare, let's just take them for an example, are not going to make it long term. They're not financed out into the future. And yet they keep making promises that there's no way to back it up, that we'll never touch it. They know it's a problem. Doesn't matter what political party you're from. You know some action has to be taken. But you see, the politicians also believe that more than going to Washington to fix things, they've gone to Washington to be reelected. And they just sort of believe that the most important thing in life for anything to change is for them to be reelected. And the congressmen and women are reelected every 2 years. So the moment they arrive, rather than tackling problems, because they believe the most important thing is their reelection, so they begin to campaign and they talk, and very little gets done. This is not a political statement. This would apply across the board, elected offices, but it also applies to our work and to our homes. We can talk and talk and talk. People are always talking a good fight, what they're going to do, what we should do, what we need to do. Please do not give your life to being a windbag. Make up your mind that more than talk, you're going to back it up with action. It's doing, not saying, that makes the difference. Now, many times we wonder, well, how did you find to do the work that you like and measure your life by that? There have been times that it's been in my life, it's been a deliberate application of the gifts that God's given me, the talent, the ability, and things I've worked on. But there have been times that opportunities have come to me that I never anticipated. When I was invited to come to the Global Ministry Center of my denomination, that was a bolt out of the blue. I hadn't prepared for it. There's nothing you can do to prepare for it, much like the position I'm in now. You just have to be ready. Get yourself prepared for what you're doing right now. Trust the Lord, make a difference, and keep moving ahead. Remember, Put God and your family ahead of everything else. And when you get those priorities, everything else will fall in line behind it. Come up with a strategy that if I take these actions, and if there are course corrections along the way, we'll make them. But I am going to give myself to whatever it is I've been called to do, whatever position I fill today. I am going to do it 100%. You are the best. And so this is Dr. Ron's words of wisdom on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. Consider this your vitamin and supplement for your mind, your heart, and your soul. And until next time, have a blessed and great day, and thank